So with that, I'd like to introduce tonight's speaker, Peter Conroy, who's joining us all the way from Italy, where I mentioned it's after 2 a.m. in the morning. So Peter is a Dublin firefighter paramedic, and he's co-founder of the Irish Tow Surf Rescue Club. And he has a combined love of charging and an expertise in safety, introducing techniques that have saved lives and have drawn praise from the likes of Will Skookin, Nick Von Roop, Alex Gray, Jamie Mitchell, and even the Irish Coast Guard. Now around 40 members strong, but this number was last updated to me more than a year ago, so I can't wait to hear how many it is now. And it's almost entirely self-funded. It provides jet ski safety training at a critical period in the country's big wave history as Ireland's western seaboard is now more popular than ever. So please join me in welcoming Peter back to Wild Med Wednesday.
Thanks a million, Jenna. Thanks for getting me on again. It's great to be here and great to share all the information I have learned over the years from falling off the board and falling off jet skis and trying to pick up people from inside the surf zone. So I will go straight into it, and basically hopefully everybody sees my presentation come up on their screen now. Jen, if you could just say yes or no if it comes up.
It looks good.
As I can. Okay, so a little bit about myself. My name is Peter Conroy. I come from the west coast of Ireland. I have a BA Honours in Disaster Management that I got from England. The only thing I ever took from England. I am also a firefighter paramedic up in Dublin for the last 22 years. I am a beach lifeguard instructor, SRT instructor, rope rescue instructor. So a lot of experience with rescuing from ropes and rivers and water and the sea. So there are some of the waves that we have in the west coast of Ireland that we have been surfing for approximately 15 to 20 years, depending on the wave. The top left wave is a wave in Sligo called Mullaghmore. And that was during a competition that we ran to showcase our club's experience with the drivers and the surfers that are involved within the organization. Same as the top right-hand side, that's me on the wave, and Paul O'Kane, one of the founding members as well, doing safety during the day. Same again on the left is a wave I caught in 2011 that got me global recognition for surfing one of the biggest barrels in the world that year. And the wave you'll hear most of is the wave on the right-hand side at the bottom. It's called Riley's, which is a very shallow slab underneath some cliffs. That has caused a lot of trouble for a lot of people with numerous medical issues and evacuation by helicopter and jet skis nearly every time. I said, I love to teach and I love to get in the water as much as I can. That's me up in work a long time ago when I was young. The picture up on top on the right is me training on my local beach, Spanish Point Beach. And down on the left is me giving a lecture on medical interventions during my stag and a surf film festival in Sligo. A very hungover day that was. And this is me down on the right-hand side teaching in Nazaré, one of the big wave spots in Europe, in Portugal. So what we're going to talk about today is a little bit about the club, the histories and activities, an overview of heavy water surf conditions in Ireland, and PWC, which is personal watercraft, overview and preparedness, what we do to our skis to kind of get them prepared for taking a battering on the west coast of Ireland, and issues within the big wave safety scene that I see in Ireland and globally, and a Q&A at the end if anyone has any questions. Okay, so the Irish Surf Rescue Club was kind of founded about 16, 17 years ago. It kind of stemmed from a day like today. This is underneath the cliffs of Moher. This is a famous wave called Aileen's. I say all of you are looking at this the wave going, oh, that's a nice little wave, but what you can't see there's about 8 jet skis dotted around there on the way beside the wave there, with 2 people on each ski. On this day, I got washed in underneath the cliffs and spent 40 minutes trying to swim out by myself. When I managed to get out to the rip in the middle, one of the lads picked me up, and we went back to the pub and we sat down and we said we had to do a bit of training because we didn't fully understand the capabilities of the jet skis at this time. We hadn't done courses. We were basically cowboys in the beginning. We bought jet skis, we bought a sled, we went out and we just towed each other, and basically we let each other survive the wipeouts and the pickups, and not fully understanding what the skis could do. So I got onto one of my contacts over in England, Glenn Ovens, and asked him could he come over, because I'd been teaching IRB rescue boat stuff, and I'd met him over in Wales, and I saw he had a jet ski out one of the days we were training, and he was had come back from California and Hawaii doing training. So he came over, and this is the first course done in Ireland with all the jet skis that were around at the time. And from that day, Glenn over there on the left-hand side there kept coming back, and we kept on training as many people as we could. And it wasn't just the surfers that we wanted to train. It was the drivers, it was the photographers, it was anybody that was out there with us at the time. So if anything did happen, that they could get involved and help us out. These are some of the skis at the start. These are Yamaha VX 110. Kind of the workhorse of what we have going on in Ireland. They're one of the smaller jet skis that you'd see kind of compared to Nazare, where they're very big FXs that with a lot of power, a lot of horsepower. So this is the same crew again. I think out of all of them, myself and Steve are the only ones towing still. Here's some more training we've done over the years. You've got the Dutch, you've got the Americans, the lads from Nantucket. We've got a lot of local lads there in the pictures. Up there on the left is when we were over in Nazare. And then I go into schools just teaching water safety and equipment that we use. So, heavy surf conditions in Ireland. It's cold a lot of the time. It's big. When it gets big, it gets some of the biggest waves in the world start hitting us. It's dangerous, but it's really, really, really fun when you know what you're doing. So here's some more pictures of surfing in Ireland. On the top left that's the wave underneath the cliffs of Moher. On the top right, that's the wave underneath the cliffs of Moher. Remember, they break into 700 foot, and you'll see the trouble we had with surfing out there, and what we've done to mitigate incidents that we've had out there. And the wave down the bottom is me on Mullaghmore up in Sligo. There's myself and Dave admiring waves up in Mullaghmore on the jet ski. And as you can see, you carry a bit of equipment on the back when you're towing. So you have your board, you've got your rope, and then you've got the rescue sled on the back. On the right-hand side there, you can see the driver, and you can just see a head popping up of the guy on the back of the sled. And on the bottom there, you can see our training ground, which is basically Spanish Point Beach, our local beach that we can launch and recover from. And we get all kind of conditions all through the year. In the summertime, it's pretty flat. We do a little bit of training, but most of our training is done in the wintertime. This wave is underneath the cliffs of Moher again. You'll see our rescue sled is used to multiple uses. It's used to get out to all our gear out there. Once it's out there, we'd usually tie them off to buoys and stuff like that. So there's no equipment on the sled. So it's being used for rescue. That's me going in. What you notice here is a lot of cavitation within the water there. Whitewater and jet skis don't really interact very well because of the air in the water. So when the jet ski's sucking up water to push it out the other side, the more air in it, the more the prop within the engine will spin faster and faster. So Jenna, if you just play the video of the pickups and leave the sound on for that, please.
You got it.
I'm just going to go through and talk over it, if that's okay.
Yep.
So these are just a few pickups that I've done and I've recorded, and you'll hear the engine of the jet ski a lot of the time when we get into whitewater. It basically, you could be driving at 60 miles an hour. Oh, it's very pixelated. Is that streaming all right on your screen?
We see it. You can keep talking, Peter.
Can you hear it?
Cannot hear it. Gina?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't hear it?
No.
As you can see there, there's a lot of white water when we go in to pick up our person. So this is a one-handed pickup where we go in nice and slow. You've usually got about 8 or 9 seconds, well, if you're lucky, between waves. Here we've got me coming in to pick up a surfer with a surfboard, which takes a little bit more time. As you can see, when he's getting on the boat, that's the waiting game there. The surfer needs to know what he's doing as well to get on before you get a 20-foot of white water crashing down on top of you. If the sound was on there, you could hear the engine going, trying to get traction within the white water. And here you see, it's not all about the pickups. It's all about having fun with your mates, and you're bringing the lads out to the peak. And that's just a basic pickup. You can see that literally when the ski comes into you, it should only take a second to get onto the back of the sled and get out of the danger zone. And that's what's very important, is getting basically from the whitewater to an area of safety, which is, you can see there where all the skis are sitting there. It's very flat and usually controlled. But when you go into the whitewater like this area here, you'll see that it gets very aerated and you can't do much. So we're just going to go back to the PowerPoint then. That's come up on your screen there. So you can see that's me going in to pick up one of the lads with a board underneath the cliffs of Moher.
Peter, are you sharing your screen yet?
Oh.
You have to reshare.
Cool.
While you're doing that, someone questioned, is there a time of year that the waves are big, or is it just year round?
So the waves get big starting around September till about March, April. You'll get big storms hitting the west coast of Ireland. That's when you get waves. Anything after April, May, we'd be very lucky to get any waves then of magnitude. So summertime, pretty flat, very little waves. You get little waves at the Rileys and stuff like that, but no. There is a window, and even during big storms, what's going on here? Even big storms, you have little windows to actually get waves of magnitude that we're looking for. So there should be a picture of me on a ski in the whitewater.
You see it?
Yeah, cool. So continuing on. Oh, what happened there? So PWCs and preparedness. So these are the jet skis and the modifications we make to our skis. So starting at the top there, we have a bow tow rope. So basically, it's a rope that comes out the front just in case one of the skis breaks down or that we need to get connection to another ski to get it out of a danger zone. Hatch and seat straps. So basically, when you get a jet ski, you can take off the seats, no problem, and you can open the hatch, no problem at all. But what we find is if it gets flipped over in whitewater is very powerful, so it can grab any hinges or any handles and open it. So the minute the seat comes off, basically the engine is underneath it. So basically water would flood into that, or the hatch at the front, the same thing. So we put straps on it to basically hold them down tight. So basically it encases the engine within the jet ski. So the jet ski can basically get flipped upside down, get washed into the rocks. We could swim in 5, maybe 8 minutes, turn the jet ski over and start it. And it usually starts and we can drive it out again. Unlike a boat engine, if that went upside down, water would straight away get into the carburetor and it'd be shot. You wouldn't be starting that again. But jet skis, because the engine is within the hull, we can create a little bubble around it to keep it safe. So we've traction traction kits all along the gunnel there, so just more traction for our feet, and then a rescue sled at the back there. So they can come in rigid or inflatable types. The inflatable types are becoming a lot more prevalent now because of the newer equipment, and they last a lot longer. So the rigid types were what everybody had. They were very expensive and they lasted a long time. But the newer progression is the inflatable stuff, which lasts a long time as well now, and it's very easy to transport. So if you fail to prepare, you should fail to prepare. This is very apt in everything we do within the world of medicine and within the world of rescue. If you're not practicing and you're not getting experience in what you're going to be doing, you're going to fail. And is failure bad? As I said, the most I've learned in all this is when I've failed to do a rescue or where I failed to do something right. That's where I'm learning the most. So here is one of the times that we notice failure. This isn't me, thank God. This was one of the lads up in Mullaghmore. He went in to pick up his partner and he was pointing the jet ski the wrong way and ended up going over the front with the jet ski, and the partner was there, as you can see him hitting the water there. And this is all well and good when it's just him and his partner out, but other people were out surfing that day, and the next person on the wave basically came in and the jet ski was upside down and he nearly ran into him. And when traveling on a wave this size and this magnitude, you're traveling pretty fast. So if you hit something solid, it's going to hurt.
How many miles per hour or kilometers per hour are you traveling on a wave like that, do you think?
Well, it's hard to say. If you think about it, jet skis will get up to 60, 70 miles per hour, no problem. And some of these waves, the jet ski won't keep up with it. So you can be traveling at 30, 40 miles an hour, no problem, on a board.
Oh my God.
If not faster. Yeah. So when you come off, if you're traveling if you come off the board traveling at speed, it's like hitting concrete. You'll just bounce along the water until you slow down enough that you'll penetrate into the water. Is my PowerPoint coming up there again? Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's flipping through the series of the jet ski going.
You keep swapping back for some reason to the. So Headspace, is that come up?
It does.
Okay, so Headspace. This is a very famous poem that I love to quote. It says, "A man who is not afraid of the sea will soon be drowned," he said, "for he will be going out on a day he shouldn't. But we do be afraid of the sea, and we do only be drowned now and again." It's a famous poet from the Aran Islands, which is just off the west coast of Ireland here. And it's very apt to what we do, especially as rescuers or as any water user within the ocean. you're never going to win against the ocean. It has power beyond anybody's belief, and it just keeps on coming. So once we kind of get that into our head that some days isn't for us, that we should not be out there, we need to take that into consideration. So preparing for bigger waves, how we've been doing it, how we've been training people as well over the years, is swim and surf to your ability and a little bit more. There's no point in going out in big waves unless you're very, very comfortable in smaller waves. Stepping stones, as I said, a lot of surfers, they see those big waves in Nazare, and they're well used to surfing 4 to 6 foot waves, and they go over there and they'll just basically go out on the biggest day over there 50 to 60 foot, and that's not what you should be doing. You should be working your way up, and towing 10-foot waves, then going on to 15, up to 20, then you can start heading up to 50 to 60 foot. Prepare, so learn life-saving skills. This is very important. Basic BLS, CPR, stuff that will save your friend that you were out with or people that you were doing safety for. Surf and swim a lot. Keep your fitness up. Know your equipment, be it from your jet skis, your sleds, your tow gear, your VHF radios that you have out with you. Know your equipment. If it breaks, how you fix it. Important thing when we're teaching on our courses is that it's not just about the rescues, it's about the rescue equipment, your jet ski, how it starts, what it runs off, petrol, electricity. If something goes wrong out there, that you know how to fix it, because on the west coast of Ireland, there's no one coming to help you for a long time. So fixing it yourself is very important. Know when to say no when it's above your ability. So this can be brought into all our lives when we're going out into the mountains, when we know the bad weather's coming in. You all know your own ability. Some people think we're better than we know ourselves, but yeah, do it for yourself and not for anybody else. This is more down to the lines of surfing as a sport, being sponsored. Some kids want to be out there and to be seen on the bigger, heavier waves. And unless you're doing it for yourself, you should not really be out there, because you'll be doing things that can get yourself hurt, and your whole career could be ruined in a day, in a split second, from some of the incidents that happen out there. And make sure you enjoy it. And that's the most important thing. As I said, the person out there isn't the one catching all the waves. It's the one with the biggest smile on their face. And know the abilities of those around you. I live for this, because every time we used to go out there, I was the medic, I was the surfer, I was the rescue guy. I was the one that had to go rescue everybody, and my sessions would be ruined by someone getting injured and so on. So when I go out into bigger waves now, I'll always have a look around to say, right, Fernand's with me, Burner's with me, the lads are here that I know that are lifeguards, that basically when I get knocked out, if something happens to me, that everything can be sorted pretty quickly. And from the training that we've all done together, that basically we can all help each other. New ideas, these are just things that we've done over the years. Is you can see here on the left is inflatable jackets. Back at the start of the big wave scene, there was very, very expensive inflatable jackets that you could wear, that were very lightweight and very slim, so you could paddle and do everything, but they cost a lot of money. I was lucky to be gifted one to try out, so we re-engineered it back and learned that it was just a basic life jacket. So we got equipment from aircraft carriers or airlines, basically life jackets from airlines with exactly the same equipment that was used in the vests. So we could re-engineer them and put them into rash vests ourselves. So the lads that couldn't afford buy the expensive ones, we could jimmy together a bit of a safety device for them to be going out in bigger waves, and so on. And on the right hand side, something that saved my bacon many times is this little clip that I kind of saw in Australia. that they use for racing jet skis. So they want to have a quick start from the beach. Instead of putting a kill cord in that all jet skis have, you have a little clip that you could switch over and start the jet ski is very, very fast, like milliseconds, and get out of danger or get off the beach. So I ordered them from Australia, brought them over, started playing around them. And Jenna, if you played a video of me coming off the jet ski underneath the cliffs,
Yeah, I'll do that next.
you'll see this is actually a time that it saved my bacon. So as the cliffs looking down is about 700 foot. And this day I went in to collect one of the surfers.
Which video is it? Ski Wipeout?
That's the one, yeah. It says what on the tin.
Yeah,
so
that's what you told me to title it. So here we go.
Yeah. So this is me getting hit by the wave. Oh, you can turn down the sound. So if you want to go back there, just replay it there. So you can see me getting smashed, being taken straight off the wave. You can feel my feet go over my head, taken off with the surfer. As I said, that wave to the next wave is about 6 to 7 seconds. So I have to get back onto ski as fast as possible. Because we're wearing wetsuits and gloves, 6mm gloves, getting a kill cord in is very, very hard. So this is me taking a wave to the side, and this is what we practice in training, getting waves. And so I can actually start the jet ski with one hand there with that clip. Okay. Going back to the presentation. So just little things like that we've got that have basically saved our jet skis on many, many times. A lot of training that we like to do is training with the Coast Guard, because at the end of the day, they're the lads that are going to come rescue us from underneath the cliffs or near enough to basically anything we go into in the whitewater. This is our group training. This is me training with the fire brigade on the right hand side, coming down, doing the marine emergency rescue with them. So we have a good standing with them at the moment. We do a bit of training with all the surfers and the hotel staff within Mullaghmore and around the beaches that we work. So one thing that we have done is put in public access defibs to the beaches that we train on. You can see in the background on the right hand side is the hotel, the Armada Hotel. We have a defib in there, so quite quick local access in the vicinity of the area around the beaches that we use. We also let the local community defib groups use our defibs as well. You can see there's a lock on that defib as well. We had locks on them at the start, but we found that with rust and all that and access, it was hindering getting the defibs out fast enough. So we've basically taken off the locks off all the defibs in our area. The rescue box, this was brought in because one of our members got caught underneath the cliffs of Moher, and he basically had to be rescued by the helicopter service. And when we sat down afterwards, we decided to come up with an idea that if a surfer gets washed in and they're not injured, that we could stay the night, and then with our training now in the whitewater, that we can basically go in and get them the next morning at first light. So in this box, you have full survival gear, you have medical gear, you have flares, you have radio, VHF radio that we can talk to them. As you can see on the right hand side, that's where the box is kept. And that box actually got washed away. That is about 100 foot above the high tide mark at the moment, and a wave came in and took that away overnight about 8 years ago. So within a week we had it replaced with a new box, and we put it 150 foot above the high tide mark, and that is still in situ at the moment. And this is it up where its location. As you can see on the right hand side there's a horseshoe, So if you get washed in there, you're kind of stuck. There's no cliff rescue there because it's so shaly that rocks can fall very easily. So it's a kind of a waiting game if you're in there. If there is injured patient in there as well, we also have Pentrox, methoxyfluoride in the box for pain relief. So we can basically drag them down and out into the water with a lot of pain relief on them. This is more medical boxes that we've put in down at that wave we were talking about, Riley's, that has claimed a lot of injuries. But this box, I think we put in 5 of these, and every time either rockfall or waves coming up over that slab have taken them away. As you can see down on the left hand side, we had them in pretty protected, and I drilled them into the ground through the box, but waves had come up and over and taken them away. Communication, the backbone for all our rescue. I'll show you a video of Ben getting rescued at Riley's, and very important that we get help coming to us when we need it. That being the Coast Guard, the helicopter, because where we go for a lot of our surfing it's in the middle of nowhere. It takes us 40 minutes to get there by sea around the coastline, and taking an injured person from there around. You've got hypothermia, you've got everything setting in that we don't want that happening. So a call out time to get to us with the helicopter is about 15 minutes from them launching to flying over our heads. And then there's a little bit of time from getting them off the ski or out of the water or off the land. The rescue techniques that we saw earlier, so you have a one-man pickup, which is basically what all surfers and tow surfers do. So you have a 2-man pickup, so you have a rescue guy on a sled, and his one main job is basically get the patient onto the sled. The driver is just there to drive. 2-man spinal pickup, so this would only really be done in flat, calm water. That's all you'll be doing this in. If there's white water or if there's any motion in the ocean, we're going to be getting them to a flat, a very calm area if we're going to be doing spinal pickups. Unconscious casualties, the crux in all of this is what we don't want to be seeing is a person face down in the water, in the white water, which happened to me only 2 months ago. It's what we train for. It's what I've been trying to tell everybody. This is what we train for, and when it happens, it's the scariest thing you'll ever experience. When you see your friend go down and he's basically not moving on the inside of one of these waves, where you go in and you're dealing with the injury, dealing with injured casualties. As I always say, I don't really care what is wrong with the patient when I get to them. They're getting dragged out by their toe, by their ear, by whatever I can grab out to the calmer waters. And in some of the videos, you'll see that the white water is all at one area. And when you grab the person, you can get them over to a very calm working area within 100, 200 meters of the danger zone. Presenting the sled, that's what all the surfers do when they're being picked up by the rescue sled. And the body drag, basically the body drag is basically if they're unconscious or if they're injured in any way that they can't get themselves onto the sled, you come in beside them, you grab them by the shoulder or by their life jacket, and you hold them tight to the side of the jet ski and you accelerate. And the more you accelerate, the more they become streamlined with the water and the ski, and then you'll be able to get them out of the danger zone and searching for casualties in white water. So what the club has done over the last few years is we've defibs in 6 to 7 locations around our area. We pay for the fuel for the rescue skis that go out that are doing safety on the day. Free training days and medical rescue days, hand signal and rescue box and medical boxes that we've put in. Ready for action. As you can see, that's one of the big days. Only 2 months ago, you can see one of the rescue skis there sitting in line. So Mary, if you play the video of the homage to the
Okay. Let's see.
I know the videos are very bad, but we should have got them
Which video did you say?
there, up, just there, yeah. Molly Doctors. So this video was done. This session went down about 2 months ago, and I got two of my doctor friends. You can see Maeve Leonard there, and sitting on the luminous bright skis. These are the waves that were out in. So that's Nacho Gonzalez catching a wave. It's very apt that these two surfers were riding these two waves, because these two surfers, Ben, I rescued him a month before this, unconscious, face down in the water. And this is Ben surfing a wave. And the doctor is sitting there waiting. And we had two other safety skis sitting in the water, ready to go to action. But luckily, we didn't need much rescuing these days. And as you can see, they're surfing into a nice flat area. There's Bernard on the ski doing rescue. Oh, I have to share mine, do it.
Right. Ready for you.
Yep. Go back here.
How tall was that wave, do you think?
It is I'd say 50 foot, if not more.
Does it just sound like a freight train when it's coming toward you?
Oh yeah. It's very hard to explain the sound that you hear when you're sitting there. It's like a deep grumble from the ocean the whole time.
For those of you who don't know what's behind them when they're surfing at the cliffs, they're up to like 700 feet tall.
Yeah, the cliffs of Moher. This is Mullaghmore. This is very an easier wave to surf at, because if you wipe out, you just get washed into a lagoon and out to sea, basically. So this is some of the handy little rescue signs that we've put up around the beaches as well. Yeah, you can see we put them up just to help. What we did was we had a weekend of learning and sharing, and we got everybody to pay to come to learn. And the money that we made out of it, we came up with these kind of ideas how we can help local community and ourselves and surfers. And this is the reason we do it, because we get to have a lot of fun with competitions, do really silly, going out in the biggest waves, biggest storms of the year, and getting paid to do it as well. Issues within the big wave safety scene within Ireland, insurance. There is literally no insurance you can get for jet skis. So every time we're out on our own personal jet skis, which is all the time, if something happens, it's good night, goodbye. We don't get any money back from insurance because we don't have any, and we can't get it in Ireland. Training qualifications. We tried to get everybody to do the club course, and the thing is, people have done the course, but they don't come back and they continuously train, which is a problem, because a guy that's done a course 10 years ago says, "Oh, I did a course," and he's out doing pickups at certain surf spots. He's not practicing rescue. He's not practicing any emergency situations. So the rescue side of it lack a lot. And then when it comes to actually doing a rescue, there's a lot of mess ups. And people inherently don't want to admit to mistakes and all that kind of stuff, like myself. But what we try to push forward is that if you do make a mistake, that we need to sit down and we need to talk about it and how do we make it better. And a lot of the things that we come out of it is the training that needs to continue. Medical experience. On the big wave scene, I think anybody doing safety on these need to have a basic medical experience, as in BLS, ATLS, definitely being able to administer oxygen, administer pain relief as well. Because remember, when you go in to pick that person up, 99% of the time, when you pick them up, they're going to be fine. They're going to get on the back. They're going to be happy that you got them. But it's those times when you pick someone up and they have a very severe injury, like a femur fracture, pelvic. That's when you need to be getting into your little box of medical gear that you have in the front, and practice and experience. As I said, we don't get to practice that much because on average there's only about 8 to 10 big wave sessions that really go on during the winter. And to be out there with a full-time jobs and getting the experience of doing the rescues, it's quite hard to get through it. So that's it. So here's something else that we all see as perception, is basically we're looking at things that we think are very, very dangerous. As you can see down the bottom there, you're looking at that picture going, Jesus Christ, look at that. That's me jumping off a wave. But the top picture is the exact same wave. And it's just the way we look at things, especially in big wave surfing. It looks very difficult, looks hard, but with a bit of practice and a bit of training, it actually becomes very, very easy. I like these two pictures because I came off the wave there, and this shot was sent to me by another photographer, and I was just blown away by the perception from the end. I think the next picture is basically the same wave, and you can see a surfer, the jet ski guy on the back there, burner coming in to get me after this. So it's very important that like we view things that are dangerous, but with a little bit of training, we can take the danger out of it. And progression. So with the club training, it's getting to a certain level, but over the years I've been pushing myself with instructing as well. So I joined together with Swiftwater Training and Rescue 3 International and Europe to basically come up with a course that trains people how to use jet skis efficiently and more in the realms that people don't usually use them. So in the ocean, especially in Ireland, where no emergency services really use jet skis, we kind of want to get them using them. And in rivers. So this is our more search and rescue up in Galway that we started teaching them in the basics of jet ski use within coastal recovery and searches for lost people and in rivers. On the left hand side, that's us going out with the local Garda unit, the sub-aqua unit for body recovery. So the Cliffmore have a lot of suicides off the top of it. So getting in from the sea level to extricate bodies is quite hard. But on camera days or on days that they can't get down from the top or down along the Goats Trail, we'll go out with them. Interagency work, as I said, down on the right hand side, that's us practicing in a river in Limerick. So Limerick Search and Rescue. We've done a bit of training with them, and we're also helping them out as well. And at that, I'll leave it there. Well, before we do any questions there, we will. I'll just show you two rescues that we have done this year. Jen, if you want to pull up the.
Which one do you want to do first?
Oh, Crazy Surfer Rescue there, top right. This is the big wigs came to town.
Filming and then his
you can turn down the sound. So this is Kyle Lenny getting caught at that wave I was talking about, Riley's. You can see he gets smashed here pretty quickly. That water is about 4 foot, 5 foot deep. So a lot of impact injuries there. So I've broken my back there. We've had a few femur fractures. We've had a few pelvic fractures. So you can see how quickly he's being dragged to the right-hand side. I'm actually out the back towing somebody else. And straight away, I've noticed that he is getting dragged in. And what happens with that volume of water being washed over, he's going to meet the other water coming the other way. And once you get caught in on the right-hand side here, it is literally impossible to get out. You're just going to get washed in on the rocks. And this guy is very, very professional. Bernard is there trying to get into him as well. But as I said, the minute you go into whitewater that aerated, you lose all power, you lose all skill. It doesn't matter how big the ski is. You also got the waves jacking up there quickly. As I said, if we didn't go in and get him, he could have got. You can see how shallow it is there. Here's my approach here, coming in with the wave behind it, and you will see I'm keeping an eye out, the wave jacking up, and we managed to just get out in time, up and out. And that's me not falling off. That's me jumping off the side of the ski to hold, to make sure that the ski doesn't go fully on its side and I don't come down on my ankle. You can see I get up back on it pretty quickly with the kill cord out. With that switch, I can get out quickly. So that was a pretty crazy day. That was, we'll say, a Monday. And then on the Tuesday, we went back out and Ben's rescue there. If you want to put on Ben's. So this is the, and Jen, I'm just going to get you to scroll through it a tiny bit. I'll leave the first minute or two going on. And then we'll scroll past so you can see that's all of us out there at Riley's sitting in the, that's just loading, is it?
Seems to be a lot.
So this is it, that wave from the water. So this is actually Ben's wave. Small enough, not even, we wouldn't even look at it. You can see him get sucked over on that wave. And what happened is then he headbutted the wave, not the wave, the ground. This is him on the wave again from the top. So you see he gets sucked over and basically got slammed off the rocks. If you all turn your heads to the side, that's it'll go back on itself now in a second. But you can see all the skis sitting on this in the channel there, safe enough. This is him on his wave again. As I said, he headbutted the reef and basically got out. That's me going in and getting him. I was very lucky. He was unconscious when I got him. And if you can see, I just drag him straight out. I don't care what injury he has. I get him straight out, holding onto his hand out the back. That's a quick assessment there to have a look at him. He had taken on a lot of water, so he's vomiting up a lot of white water. You can see Bernard there jumping off one ski, getting onto the back. Sorry, it's so jumpy. And you can see very quickly within, I'd say 2 minutes, my hand goes into the front of the ski and I take out a VHF radio and I'm calling for help, because on the side of his head, you could actually see his skull. He had a very big laceration to the side of the head. He was very, very concussed. He was vomiting a lot of seawater. And very scary situation. But within the 2 minutes, I had a helicopter rolling towards us. So we had to calm it down. You'll see that the medical box comes out the front of my ski and one of the other skis, and we start bandaging it up his head. There you go. There's the medical box coming out. So what we're looking at here is an injury and a drowning that we have to manage, and we can't really do it on the back of a sled. So what we do usually is get him into shore, onto land. So we can stabilize them, keep them warm. So if, Mary, if you, or Jenna, if you just go forward a tiny bit till you'll see the helicopter fly in, as you can see. And because there's so many people there, it's actually very easy to get him out of the water. There's the helicopter coming in. And if you go on a little bit more, about 5 minutes. And you can see all the people on the shore. So when we got Ben in, yeah, Jen, if you just go on about 5 minutes, you'll see all of us on the shore. So that's the helicopter guy coming down. A little bit more. That's us there, keeping a little bit more. A little bit more. Bit more. And you'll see, as I said, one thing we're trying to do is keep this patient warm. We don't want hypothermia kicking in. So any jackets or any fleeces that we had there, we had him underneath him, lying on top of him. As you can see there, everybody is there to help. Sometimes too many people try and get involved, and you all have to give them little jobs to do. As I said, I was worried about C-spine, but he was vomiting so much that we had to turn him on his side, because on his back he was basically drowning in his own fluids. So we had him on his side. He was very, very concussed. He kept on asking where he was, what was going on. And this is all relayed. And you can see the lads laughing. And we're not taking the piss out of him. I try and bring a humor into a lot of things just to gauge the patient's awareness. Yeah, so that was a very good outcome. You can see there with the bandage on his head. One of the lads is holding that. Pulse oximeter on. We didn't have oxygen, which is a downside of one of the negatives that I should have had, but we didn't have room in the skis. But you can see that we did have medical gear there. We had him monitored the whole time, and jackets, everything on top of him, keeping him warm. He spent 5 days in hospital, released with caution, and was back surfing within 4 weeks. I did try to tell his parents to buy him a helmet, but the last time I saw him surfing a massive wave, he didn't have the helmet on again, but there's no telling these lads. All right, I'll open the floor there to questions, if anybody has any. If not, I'll go to bed.
Thank you so much, Peter. Just incredible topic, incredible life you live. Thank you so much for taking the time to share this with us again. Such a unique thing happening in the world, so to get that bird's eye view is really cool. So if you
No
guys
problem.
have questions about Peter's surfing life or his time with the Dublin Fire Brigade, where he's also a firefighter paramedic, and how long have you been doing that now? That's been a long time.
22 years.
Nice. So
20
any
and
questions
8 to go.
or relevant experiences? Do we just happen to have any other crazy big wave surfers here tonight? We did have a question come up in the chat that was, what are some of the most common injuries that you have seen in the past few years there?
Broken backs. Yeah, vertical. So vertebrae being crushed. So when you hit the ground or hit, you get squashed into a ball, and basically your spine isn't basically built to be in a ball for long. Or with bodyboarders, their back goes over like that and basically cracks. So spinal injury is the most. Femur fractures, we've had 3. Pelvic injuries as well, and the pelvic one was just only recently. So yeah, it's a lot of impact injuries that we get, but enough pain medication and proper stabilization before we extricate it is very important.
I think the majority of people here are US based, and I don't think that everyone probably knows what Penthrox is.
Okay, so Penthrox is an analgesic that we can give to our patients. It's methoxyfluoride. You'd probably see it on Bondi Rescue. It's called the Green Whistle. Came into Ireland about 4 years ago, and it's the best thing we've ever got. After about 4 inhalations, you basically go from a 10 out of 10 pain down to a 2. I've had guys with femur fractures, open femur fractures, that want to walk into the ambulance after having Penthrox for about a minute. So it's very, very effective. lifespan, when you're inhaling it very hard, it only lasts about 30 minutes, and we can only give 2 in a 24-hour period. That coupled with paracetamol, ibuprofen, and any pain medication that we can give, we'll be giving it to him during that as well.
Next question in the chat. Do you guys do a deep dive into addressing drowning-related ARDS or acute respiratory distress, or you're able to get the patient to higher level of care quick enough where ventilation management isn't necessary?
Oh, the magic question. So that is what I touched on with qualifications. A lot of people aren't qualified to administer oxygen, or they don't have it because we've only the front of the jet skis that we have a defib and some medical equipment in there. Oxygen isn't brought because if we have a CD cylinder, it's a live bomb if something goes wrong. With bigger contests or big days out, we'll always have oxygen on land ready to go. Addressing ARDS and stuff like that, yeah, we'd have salbutamol. We'd start addressing it straight away. But at Mullaghmore, we'd have them in definitive care within 20 minutes, guaranteed, from a drowning incident. Other places like the Cliffs of Moher and Riley's, with a helicopter rescue, 30 minutes, we'd have them in the hospital, but we'd have them on oxygen prior to that. All the helicopters in Ireland travel with critical care paramedics and advanced paramedics, so we'd have oxygen straight away the minute we have them into the helicopter from a drowning incident.
I don't think I remembered from before just how rural where you're surfing these big waves are. So you like not only have a bit of a drive from populated places, but then sometimes some of these places you also have a 40-minute sea journey to get to where you're going also. Is that what you said?
Yeah, so Riley's, that wave that we were looking at there, the Kyle Eddy got, that from the harbour to get there is 40 minutes by jet ski, traveling at 30, 40 miles an hour. And access from road there is near impossible. The ambulance can get down there close enough, but extricating the person from the water to them is very, very difficult. Mullaghmore, from harbour to the wave is 5 minutes, which is very quick. And then from the harbour to definitive care, which would be Sligo General Hospital, which is 15, 20 minutes on blue lights. So we'd always offer an ambulance at Mullaghmore to come from, that would stabilise the patient in the harbour. By the time we get a helicopter from Sligo out, they'll be in the hospital. The Cliffs of Moher, you launch from Dublin, which is another 25, 30 minutes to get over to the wave underneath the Cliffs of Moher. And the only extrication you're getting out of there is by jet ski or by helicopter. And then definitive care from the Cliffs of Moher to a trauma centre, which would be Galway. It'll be there within 15 minutes from pickup. Yeah.
Have you ever been on shift with the fire department and heard calls go out at these surfing areas when you haven't been out surfing?
Yes, I've heard of it'd be come up on our feeds that surfers been rescued from Riley's or the west coast of Ireland. Yes, I'd hear, and quickly I'd probably text somebody down there to see if everything's okay. And yeah, that's happened a few times now. But the lads have dealt with it. The surfers down there, like, they're very apt at calling the helicopter, making sure that the right help is coming at the right time.
Do you wear impact vests that auto inflate with like a certain amount of force hitting them?
So certain waves, certain equipment. So Riley's, I wear impact vest underneath my wetsuit. I wouldn't wear an inflatable vest you don't want to be washed quickly into the rocks or into the Cliffs of Moher. You'd have it on at the Cliffs of Moher because it's a wave that retains you underwater for longer. So you could be under for a minute and a bit. So you have that chance to inflate the jacket, but it's self-inflation. You have 2 pull cords here, and on some of them are 4. So you have 2 down lower down here and here to here. You can inflate and you can deflate as well. You have a deflate button, so you have 4 chances of pulling. But a bad wipeout, when you get pushed down, you inflate. The pressure is so much underwater that it'll actually blow out the air that's in your life jacket. So you have to reinflate when you're underwater again. So depends on the situation. Yeah.
Totally amazes me.
It's loads of fun. We get you out when you get over here, Jenna.
Yeah. I'll be on a jet ski like way out before the waves are even breaking. I'll watch. Like I messaged you just a couple days ago, was like, man, like when I've surfed head high, that's like enough thrill for me. Like, oh.
I know. It was very funny because Maeve Leonard, and who Mary knows, we taught her over in Peniche. She's a consultant now in emergency medicine in Sligo. She came out with us on the last day, the big day at Mullaghmore, and she'd never been out in those kind of waves before. But she is, she was just amazed at the size and the power. And like, this is a person that's been to Base Camp Everest. She's been to the Gulf of Mexico with Greenpeace and all that kind of stuff. And she's like, that was the best day she's ever had in her life.
Aww.
Being out
Did
there
she
with us.
she surf?
Yeah, she surfs. Yeah. And she's done the jet ski course with us as well. But we were going out there and I just said, listen, Mary, you want to go, or Maeve, you want to come out? And John O'Donnell came out as well. So it was just kind of like our group being really prepared for if shit went down. We were all ready for looking after each other. But and Mary wasn't driving. She was sitting on the back with Shane.
Maeve.
Shane was driving for her and just sitting in the channel watching the show of 50, 60 foot waves coming through with the best in the world surfing it. Yeah.
That's very, very cool. Tell her I said hi.
I will indeed.
Mary,
would you ever surf one of those?
No.
I know. I don't think I could.
I've been on the jet skis for Code Red. I worked as a medical staff for the pro surfers for several years. And so Code Red in Tahiti was pretty darn scary day of my life when the waves got 60 feet and all the big wave surfers flew in and our jet ski stalled, a boat flipped over. We had to do a lot of rescues of getting people out. So no, but thank you, Peter.
Yeah, them are the good days. These are the good days.
Chris in the chat is curious if you have a school or a course in Australia ever.
In Australia, I've never been to Australia. I'd love to go,
What?
but no. Our courses are mainly run in Ireland, in the conditions that we teach here, nice and cold, being nice and warm, and having no wetsuit on. That's an easy way of learning. But if I ever get out there, I'll let you know. But no.
Yeah. Maybe Chris will help you organize a course out there.
There you go. Yeah, I don't think my wife would let me go away.
Or come to Ireland.
That far. Yeah, or come to Ireland. Yeah, and learn. Yeah.
I haven't been out to Ireland in a while. How? Huh.
No, you haven't.
I know.
Okay, if there isn't any more questions, I'll leave you to it because I'm going to go to bed.
Go to sleep.
Yeah.
I have to get up early and mind 2 kids and go snowboarding for the day.
Have so much fun.
Thank you so much again, Peter.
Thank
Great
you,
to
Peter.
see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Amazing.
Talk to you later.
Ciao, ciao.